Okay, so The Walking Dead is back. So again, we're at the midpoint of season 4. And season 4 ended, well, the midpoint ended with Herschel dead, and the prison had been torn asunder. So therefore, Rick and his group became fractured, and the remnants scattered across the wind. So that pretty much means the rest of this season is going to be the one episode with this group, one episode with that group, until either they begin to die off or meet up with other people. So this week it deals specifically with Carl, Rick, and Michonne. Now, Michonne gets to go all Onimusha in this, which he hasn't done in a long time. You also get a decent amount of her background. Her background's nice. It actually flushes out her character beautifully well with one concise flashback. Also, Carl really seems to grow a pair all of a sudden. He blames his father for everything that's befallen them recently. And Rick is pretty much clinging to life. And this really bizarre thing, I'm trying to still figure out the timeline, because Judith was able to get pregnant, have a child, and then the child, had a couple of months. So I'm thinking that we're at least a year. We have to at least be 1 year into this scenario. But Carl was still able to find an open bag of cereal. So cereal is still fresh. Now, the odd thing ends up being is if you use the child as a timeline, you're looking at a little over a year. Which, of course, would make sense because they did mention, I think they've gone through 2 winters so far. 2 winters, you can have that in a year, because you would have your first winter. If your first winter relatively quickly, next year winter, so we're looking probably about a year and a half. And then Carl finally finds the thing he's been looking for a long time. Giant can of pudding. Yes, you get to watch Carl eat a can of pudding. Overall, decent start. I'm glad I did a lot with Michonne. One of the more interesting characters. It seems like Carl has finally hit a breaking point where he more or less read Rick the Riot Act. So actually, not a bad start to the midpoint of season 4.